one touch changed everything.
Have you ever wished for all the gold in the world? Imagine if every single thing you touched turned into solid shining gold. At first, it might sound like a wonderful dream come true. But what if this amazing gift became a terrible nightmare? Welcome to our fairy tale journey. Today we will explore the ancient story of King Midas and his famous golden touch. This classic myth teaches us a very important lesson about greed and what truly matters in life. As we learn English together, we will discover why getting everything you want can sometimes be a curse. Long ago in the beautiful land of Phrygia, there lived a very rich king named Midas. He lived in a grand palace filled with beautiful treasures and priceless art. Even though he had more wealth than anyone else in the kingdom, King Midas was never truly satisfied with his riches. King Midas had two great loves in his life. His first love was his massive collection of shiny gold coins and golden statues. His second love was his sweet little daughter named Marigold. Princess Marigold was a cheerful girl who loved picking fresh flowers in the beautiful palace garden every day. Every morning, King Midas would wake up early and walk down to his dark treasure room. He would lock the heavy wooden door behind him and count his golden coins for hours. The sound of clinking gold was his favorite music in the whole wide world. He wanted much more. One sunny afternoon, King Midas was walking through his beautiful rose garden. He noticed an old man sleeping under a large shade tree. The old man looked very tired and hungry. King Midas decided to be kind and invited the old man into his grand palace for a warm meal. The old man was actually a friend of a powerful god named Dionysus. Because King Midas showed such great kindness to the tired traveler, Dionysus decided to reward the king. The powerful god appeared before King Midas in a bright flash of light and offered him one single special wish. King Midas did not even have to think about his wish. He looked at the god and smiled a very greedy smile. He asked that everything he touched would instantly turn into solid gold. The god warned him to think carefully, but King Midas was absolutely certain of his choice. Dionysus granted the wish and disappeared into the thin air. King Midas was so excited that he could hardly stand still. He wanted to test his new magic power right away. He reached out his hand and touched a small wooden branch on a nearby oak tree in the garden. As soon as his fingers brushed against the rough wood, the branch changed completely. The brown bark and green leaves turned into bright shining yellow gold. King Midas gasped in pure joy and amazement. His magic touch was real, and he was about to become the richest man on earth. He ran around the garden, touching everything he could find. He touched a stone bench, and it became solid gold. He touched a beautiful blooming rose, and its soft red petals turned into hard, cold gold. Even the little water fountain turned into a beautiful golden statue in an instant. King Midas felt like the most powerful king in the entire history of the world. He danced through the green grass, leaving a trail of golden footprints behind him. He thought about all the new castles and ships he could buy. His greedy heart was filled with absolute pure delight. After an hour of running and turning things into gold, the king felt very tired. He also felt very hungry and thirsty from all his exciting work. He walked back into his grand dining room and ordered his loyal servants to bring him a massive feast of delicious fresh food. The servants brought roasted meats and fresh-baked bread and sweet purple grapes. They also brought a large glass of cold, pure water. King Midas sat down at his wooden table and touched the surface. The entire table instantly turned into solid gold right before his very own amazed eyes. He smiled proudly and reached for a piece of warm, soft bread. But as soon as his fingers touched the crust, the bread became heavy and hard. It had turned into a solid lump of gold. He could not bite into it without breaking his royal teeth on the metal. King Midas felt a small spark of fear in his stomach. He tried to grab a bunch of sweet purple grapes instead. The exact same thing happened again. The soft, juicy fruit turned into hard golden marbles. He was surrounded by beautiful wealth, but he could not eat a bite. He was getting very thirsty, so he picked up his glass of cold water. He brought the glass to his lips, hoping to drink. But the water inside turned into liquid gold and hardened instantly. He choked and coughed, dropping the heavy golden cup onto the solid golden dining table. Suddenly, the door to the dining room opened and his sweet daughter Marigold ran inside. She was crying, holding a solid gold rose in her small hands. She complained that all the beautiful soft roses in the garden were ruined. They no longer smelled sweet, and they felt very cold. King Midas felt terrible for making his little girl cry. He wanted to comfort her and tell her that everything would be all right. Without thinking about his magic curse, he reached out and gave his precious daughter a big, warm hug. It was the worst mistake of his entire life. In the blink of an eye, sweet little Marigold stopped crying. She stopped moving completely. Her soft skin, her beautiful hair, and her pretty dress all turned into bright shining gold. King Midas stepped back in pure horror. His beloved daughter was now just a cold, hard, golden, lifeless statue. The king fell to his knees and began to weep bitterly. His tears fell onto the golden floor of the dining room. He realized that all the gold in the world meant nothing without his precious daughter. His greedy wish had destroyed the most important thing in his entire life. He hated his golden touch, and he hated his massive piles of shiny coins. He would give away every single piece of treasure just to hear Marigold laugh one more time. King Midas prayed loudly to the powerful god Dionysus, begging him to take away this terrible, cruel golden curse. Dionysus heard the sad cries of the foolish king and felt sorry for him. The god appeared in the dining room once again. He looked at the golden statue of the little princess and then looked at the crying king. He asked Midas if he still wanted his magical power. King Midas shook his head wildly and begged for forgiveness. He admitted that he had been greedy and foolish. He finally understood that true wealth is not made of shiny metal. He asked the god to please save his little girl and take back the horrible golden touch magic forever. The god told King Midas to travel to the nearby river called Pactolus. He instructed the king to wash his hands in the flowing water. The magic would wash away from his fingers and flow into the river sand. Then he could bring water back to save his sweet daughter. King Midas did not waste a single second. He ran out of the grand palace and sprinted all the way to the riverbank. He plunged his golden hands into the cool, rushing water. He scrubbed his fingers together, hoping and praying that the god was telling him the truth. As he washed his hands, he saw a bright yellow sparkling color leave his skin. The magic flowed into the water and settled into the sand at the bottom of the river. He felt a huge weight lift from his shoulders. His hands looked normal and pink once again, finally. He quickly grabbed a clay pitcher from the riverbank and filled it with the fresh, clean water. He ran back up the hill toward his grand palace as fast as his legs could carry him. He rushed straight into the dining room where the golden statue of Marigold stood. With trembling hands, King Midas poured the fresh river water over the golden statue of his little girl. Slowly, the bright yellow metal began to fade away. The gold turned back into soft pink skin and pretty brown hair. Marigold blinked her eyes and took a deep breath of air. She looked at her father and smiled, wondering why his clothes were all wet. She did not remember being turned into a solid gold statue. King Midas hugged her tightly and cried tears of absolute joy. He promised himself that he would never ever care about gold or treasure again. The king took the rest of the river water and poured it over the golden dining table. It instantly turned back into regular brown wood. He sprinkled the water on the golden bread and the golden grapes. The food became soft and delicious and ready to eat once again finally. King Midas and Princess Marigold walked out into the royal garden together. They used the remaining river water to change all the cold golden roses back into soft, beautiful red flowers. The garden smelled sweet and fresh again. The king felt happier than he had ever felt in his life. From that day forward, King Midas hated the sight of gold. He gave away most of his massive wealth to the poor people in his kingdom. He moved out of his grand palace and chose to live a simple, quiet life in the peaceful green countryside with his beloved daughter. He learned to find true joy in the simple, beautiful things of the natural world. He loved the warm golden sunshine and the bright yellow color of the blooming flowers. He realized that these natural treasures were much more valuable than any shiny coin hidden in a dark, locked room. This classic fairy tale of King Midas is very famous all around the world. It is a powerful story that teaches us a great lesson about human nature. It shows us exactly why getting everything you want can sometimes turn into a terrible curse instead of a wonderful happy blessing. When we are young, we often wish for unlimited toys or endless candy. We think that having everything we desire will make us perfectly happy forever. But the story of King Midas proves that too much of a good thing can actually cause a lot of pain and deep sadness. Greed is a very strong feeling that makes people want more and more things. King Midas already had a huge kingdom and a beautiful loving daughter, but his greedy mind made him blind to the wonderful blessings he already possessed. He only focused on getting more shiny yellow metal coins. The golden touch represents our foolish desires and our blind obsession with wealth. When Midas turned his food into gold, he learned that money cannot sustain life. You cannot eat gold and you cannot drink silver. Basic human needs like food and water are far more precious than any treasure. The most tragic moment in the story is when the king touches his sweet daughter. This dramatic scene teaches us that our obsession with material things can destroy our relationships. If we only care about getting rich, we might lose the people who truly love us and care for us. When Midas cries over his golden daughter, he finally experiences true, deep regret. He realizes that a warm hug from a child is worth more than 1,000,000 solid gold statues. Love and family are the real treasures of human life. Money and wealth can never replace human connection ever. The river Pactolus plays a very important symbolic role in this classic myth. The flowing water represents cleansing and forgiveness and starting over. By washing away his magic power, King Midas is washing away his greedy nature. He is choosing a simple, honest life over a life of endless wealth. Even today, people use the phrase, the Midas touch, in everyday English language. When we say someone has the Midas touch, we mean they are very successful in business. They seem to make money very easily. But we must always remember the hidden warning behind this famous ancient English phrase. Success and money are not bad things on their own. It is perfectly fine to work hard and earn a good living for your family. The danger only comes when we love money more than we love other people. We must keep our priorities straight and protect our caring hearts. Learning English through classic fairy tales is a wonderful way to improve your vocabulary. Stories like this one contain rich, descriptive words and clear emotional situations. As you practice reading and listening to these myths, you are also learning valuable life lessons that will help you grow as a person. Think about your own life and the things you value the most right now. Do you spend too much time worrying about buying new clothes or the latest electronic gadgets? Remember the foolish king who traded his beautiful living garden for a cold, dead collection of shiny yellow metal statues. Take a moment to appreciate the true wealth that surrounds you every single day. The bright morning sunlight, the fresh clean air, and the laughter of your good friends are priceless. No amount of money in the entire world could ever buy these simple, beautiful daily miracles of human life. We hope you enjoyed this magical journey into the ancient world of King Midas. His story has warned generations of people about the hidden dangers of extreme greed. By sharing these timeless tales, we keep their important wisdom alive for many new generations of English learners across the whole globe. If you found this story interesting and helpful, please share it with your friends. Discussing the moral of the story with others is a great way to practice speaking English. Ask your friends what they would do if they were granted one magic wish by a powerful ancient Greek god. Thank you so much for watching and learning with Fairy Tales English Journey today. We are thrilled to help you improve your English skills through the magic of classic storytelling. Make sure to return for more exciting adventures and beautiful legends from all around the big, wide, wonderful world soon. Always remember that the greatest treasures in life are not things you can lock inside a dark vault. The best things are the memories you make and the love you share with others. Keep practicing your English, keep smiling, and we will see you in the next beautiful fairy tale.